And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we will stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO-VLOG network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO-VLOG network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 1,600 QSO-VLOG Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring Rochester, New York, Milford, PA, Atlanta, Georgia, and Arlington, Virginia, trying to get the best sound from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in the selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of this selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our NoSWR specially oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA-5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, Let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this is an area of the band where we have many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our QSO-VLOG net to keep your bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. Again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, I have a beautiful copy. There's a little bit of QRM on the side, but you're coming right through direct, and right now heavy wet snow is falling here on the 16th of April 2021 at 3:35 and a half in the afternoon to date it, and it started at about 5 o'clock this morning. We had no rain ahead of it, none. And then it started snowing, and I expect we're going to have another 5 or 6 inches before this winds down tomorrow morning. So all the trees are loaded with snow. It's on the antenna. My SWR is horrible. I'm only putting out about 250 watts if I'm lucky. So I hope you are copy. And I do have a short recording from Captain Mike as he was flying two different short recordings when he was going both ways. Do you copy, Jim? Over.
Yes, sir, Charlie. I've got you 15 over on the Milford PASDR. Roger?
15 over on the Milford PASDR. Roger?
Okay, real fine. And here is Captain Mike recorded when he was heading west to east, and I picked him up here in Iowa, and then he's approaching the Mississippi River. Here he is.
Oh. W2JAZ, are you copying me now?
Okay, here we go.
Forward, Charlie, approaching Cedar Rapids at
Iowa.
Showing 530 knots, 65 knot tailwind. Temp up here is minus 51, and we're showing 825 miles from Philadelphia, 130 ETA. And I will have to sign here for a little bit. Got to make a couple of calls, but I'll be back here shortly. K1GZL from KX4 Whiskey Charlie.
Okay, here we go again.
KX4 Whiskey Charlie. We just passed Football Lane there, just crossing the Mississippi River at 37,000. We're showing 540 knots with a 70 knot tailwind, 700 miles from Philadelphia, and the temperature up here is minus 52. ETA into Philly is 130. How's that over there, Charlie? K1GZL from KX4 Whiskey Charlie.
Okay, now that was Captain Mike heading east, and here he is heading west. Here he is heading west yesterday. The first one was the day before. This was yesterday. As he headed west on 20 meters off the back of the plane, the weaker side.
Well, I'll have to look for that for you.
Okay, here we go.
KX4 Whiskey Charlie. Any copy on Jet there? Approaching Scott Bluff here. We're at 340, and speed's 437 knots. We got a little bit of a headwind, and we're showing about 887 miles from Sacramento. And again, since we left so early, we're estimating now
That's my line noise.
Like about 9:30 your time there, Charlie, into Sacramento. And the temp up here right now is minus 53. K1G's at LKS4 wind, Charlie. We sure are, Charlie. We're just a few miles from the border now, and you are really blasting in here. Makes a humongous difference here with that 1,500 watts you're putting out there. But yeah, I lost Jen completely, so I'm going to try him on a 40 here in about an hour. See how that works out. But I'll try again on the Carmen here and see if it works out on 20. Good envoy here last night. I'm not sure if...
Okay, now that there he was near Scottsbluff, Nebraska, approaching the Wyoming border. And then I picked him up as he was in Wyoming a few seconds.
In the area, and I think it would cause a lot of static. It was pretty bad on 75, but there was the usual group there on 75 there.
Okay, that was Jim over Wyoming. Captain Mike on Wyoming. I think I may have made that a little too long, and I do apologize. But the boy, does he come in? And I had that awful line noise on here, that terrible line noise. KX4WC K1G's, and I hope you copied that.
Roger, Charlie, perfect copy. That last transmission of his, was he the furthest distance from you on that last transmission?
The furthest distance from you on that last transmission?
Yes, he was. He was the very, very end of that. He was over southeastern Wyoming, north of Cheyenne, or northwest of Cheyenne. Go ahead.
Roger, because to me, it sounded like he was well above the noise level, the best of all the transmissions, Roger.
Well above the noise level, the best of all the transmissions, Roger.
Yeah, he does an amazing job with that 8-foot piece of wire. Here you are.
Here on 75 there.
Here we go.
The best of all the transmissions, Roger.
Okay, that was short. Boy, I'll tell you, that snow is pouring down here right now. And I guess we're approaching 7 inches at the moment. It's really coming down. Wow. And my SWR is horrible. Absolutely. I just want to mention one thing before we sign, is that I haven't got an immediate update on that volcano down near St. Vincent Island down there. I think there was an eruption on Wednesday 2 days ago, and the one thing that could happen if this thing really tears loose and gets going and pollutes the atmosphere up to way up into the stratosphere and circles the Earth, that could very easily upset the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream that warms up Western Europe. You take away the Gulf Stream or cut down the effect of the Gulf Stream going from southwest, from the Gulf area and the Caribbean up into Western Europe, Europe is going to really start to freeze. So that is something we're going to have to watch very carefully, Jim. KC9VKV, K1GZL in the snow.
Roger, Charlie. Well, listen, appreciate the report. Always a pleasure. And you stay warm up that way, Roger.
Report always a pleasure, and you stay warm up that way, Roger.
Okay, and also I hope everything goes all right and you don't get any nasty storms, electrical storms or flooding down in your area. But it's been pretty dry here for about a week and a half. Okay, Jim, I'll try to catch you next Friday. Catch you next Friday at the usual time. KC9VKV, K1GZO on very low power. Sorry about that. 73, Jim. Thank you.
Roger, Charlie, well, you're 15 over, like I say, on the Milford SDR. Beautiful sound. Just a reminder, this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG Network. My name is Jim, KC9VKV, and I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 4/16/21, and that will take you directly to this recording. If you're interested in some other transmissions, if you go to YouTube and just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that would take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, we have about over 1,600 recorded QSO-VLOGs for you to peruse and check out audios of other folks and see if you like theirs, yours, or whatever. Anyway, this is a KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Beautiful. November 2, Quebec, India, Lima.
November 2, Quebec, India, Lima. Was that, Roger?
Quebec, India, Lima. Was that, Roger?
Yeah, that's right, Doc. My name is Kenny. I'm in upstate New York, and I just got this radio back because I was wondering if everything still sounded good or not. Roger?
Oh, it looks pretty good. Just to review real quickly, your compressor processor set to 3. Is that a Roger?
Compressor processor set to 3. Is that a Roger?
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't on 4, but I might be a little loud.
Well, that's the beginning of our setup procedure, just verifying that you're still set up correctly. You're looking good there. You're about at 2 dB dynamic range. You might be just a little hot into your ALC. I would check that. Do you know where your ALC is and mic gain control to control that?
Do you know where your ALC is and mic gain control to control that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they reset everything from the factory there. Turn it back a little bit. How's that?
Yes, sir. Now you're 3 dB, sounding good. Your average percent of peak modulation is 85%. And your EQ curve is magnanimous. Perfect, Roger.
And your EQ curve is magnanimous. Perfect, Roger.
Okay, Doc. I just wanted to check it out there. Like I said, when I got it back from factory service, everything was reset, so I had to put it all back. I had it a little bit hot.
Yes, sir. Now, Kenny, where are you located, sir?
Over. So now, Kenny, where are you located, sir?
I am in upstate New York.
Roger. And what radio is it you're running?
Roger. And what radio is it you're running?
It's a 7300. I had to send it back to the factory. I had a voltage spike to fry the diode in the back, I guess. I don't know. He said, told me to change my power supply, Roger.
Roger. Well, it's just sounding beautiful right now. Keep our fingers crossed everything continues to be copacetic, Roger.
Now, keep our fingers crossed everything continues to be copacetic, Roger.
That's a Roger. All right, Doc, I'll let you get back to your show.
Roger, well, you're part of it, sir. Thank you very much. If you want to hear that beautiful audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 4/16/21, it will take you to this recording. Roger.
16/21, it will take you to this recording. Roger.
Yeah, that's a Roger. I've done it once before. I just wanted to check and see if I had everything set right again. Thank you very much, and continue the good work you do, 73, and stay safe.
Thank you, Kenny. Just a beautiful signal. You'll love it. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Uniform Tango Delta 8 Alpha, Quebec.
There's a uniform station. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
November 0 Oscar Uniform Tango. Hello, Jim. I'm Tom.
Okay, so repeat the call sign phonetically slowly one more time, please, Tom.
Okay, so repeat the call sign phonetically slowly one more time, please, Tom.
November 0 Oscar Uniform Tango.
Roger, Tom, and where are you located, sir?
Roger, Tom, and where are you located, sir?
In Columbia, Missouri, right between St. Louis and Kansas City.
Roger, and what radio are you running?
Roger, and what radio are you running?
Running a new Kenwood TS590.
Alrighty, Tom, why don't you give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger?
Antenna system, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger?
Okay, coax straight into the PC. Coax is sloping downward to about 10 feet on either end.
Alrighty, Tom, I'm on my local antenna. You're about 8 over my noise level. And let's start with a tune-up procedure, setup procedure, if you would like. It begins with your compressor engaged at a 3. Roger?
I will set my compressor and get you on the next transmission.
Gosh, if you want to go ahead and set that now, we do, you could press on with other parts. So it'd be the compressor engaged at 3. Roger?
I have the compressor now engaged to 3, and I am staying in the ALC range.
All right, now, so with mic gain in hand, be looking at your ALC, and you might want to speak a little quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to keep that ALC indicator up as you adjust it with your mic gain control to where it reads mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Roger.
And, of course, you would do that in the transmit mode.
Mic gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, staying in the ALC range at this time.
Roger, you want to be mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC range. Roger?
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. I am 2/3 now.
Yes, sir. That's perfect. Now, do you know where your EQ page is on the menu?
I will have to look that one up. We're getting this one step at a time. I do appreciate your service and you being there, Jim.
Yes, sir. Well, you're doing real well, sir. I would, when you find out where your EQ page is, we want to go +2 treble EQ additional from wherever you are. +2 push additional from wherever you are on your treble control equalizer. Roger?
Okay, thank you, Jim. I will have to look that one up, being the radio's new, and I will contact you again. How is this sounding at this time?
Sounds really good. Sounds really good. That +2 on your treble EQ is just to give you a little bit more edge on your words for articulation. But it's very nice as it is, but it could use just a tad more sparkle to it. Roger?
Roger that. KC9VKV, Jim, is that correct?
That is it, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Tom. From Missouri. N0OUT. I appreciate your help. I need to do some more reading, and then I will check back with you and let you continue on with your good service. Thank you. 73.
Thank you, Tom. 73 that way, sir, and have a great afternoon. Beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey Bravo number 8.
Check out. Give me a shout.
Kilo Delta 9 Romeo Tango X-ray.
There's a Kilo Delta 9 station. Come back slowly, phonetically, with your call.
The Kilo Delta 9 station, come back slowly, phonetically, with your call.
Kilo Delta 9 Romeo Tango X-ray. Kilo Delta 9 Romeo Tango X-ray.
Romeo Tango X-ray, Roger. What's the name there?
Romeo Tango X-ray, Roger. What's the name there?
Name here is Cade. Charlie Alpha Delta Echo. I'm in West Lafayette, Indiana.
Repeat that name again, please.
Repeat that name again, please.
Cade. Charlie Alpha Delta Echo.
Copy that as Cade. Is that a Roger?
Copy that as Cade. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
Yes, sir. And where are you located, sir?
Yes, sir. And where are you located, sir?
I'm in West Lafayette, Indiana.
Back home again in Indiana. Well, congratulations there. We are neighbors, so to speak, Roger.
Well, congratulations there. We're neighbors, so to speak, Roger.
Roger that. I just looked you up. You're down in New Albany. That's, I don't know that I've ever been there, but I think that's the southern part of the state, right?
Yes, sir. We're just across the river from Louisville. I can see downtown Louisville from here, about 3 miles away across the Ohio. And so, Cade, what radio are you running, sir?
And so, Cade, what radio are you running, sir?
This is a Yaesu FT891. I've had it about 3 or 4 weeks now. I'm transmitting at 50 watts at the moment. I'm going to run up on a fiberglass 30-foot mast.
Oh, roger that. Okay, if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, it starts with engaging your compressor at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does precisely what we need it to do. So if you would be interested in starting our setup procedure, engage your compressor at a 3, Roger.
Setup procedure, engage your compressor at a 3, Roger.
Well, I may just have to take notes on this. I'm still learning the radio and getting familiar with all the menu options. So I will take a note to engage my compressor at a 3, and then we'll likely check back with you later.
That's okay. Okay, well, once you get your compressor engaged at a 3, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly and transmit 100, 200, 300, so you can get that ALC meter up to see what it's doing, adjust your mic gain control to where your ALC is reading mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC by mic gain manipulation. Roger?
On the ALC by mic gain manipulation. Roger.
That's a roger.
All right, then once you get there, go to your equalization and crank in a couple of clicks, additional boost, top end EQ, treble EQ, +2 from where it is. Roger?
Top end EQ, treble EQ, +2 from where it is. Roger.
+2 from current settings. Roger that.
Yes, sir. And also, you sound like you might be a little mid-rangey. If you have a 3-band EQ, make sure that middle EQ is flat. That's the whole thing about a 3-band EQ. It is designed to achieve balance between the top to mid-range and the bottom to mid-range. And if you boost the mid-range, it is so much harder for the top and bottom to catch up. So I suggest that you keep your mid-range flat in a 3-band EQ. Roger?
Keep your mid-range flat in a 3-band EQ. Roger?
That's a roger. I do know where the EQ settings is, so I just tweaked the EQ1 and EQ2 levels. +2 on the EQ1, down 2 on the EQ2.
I'm assuming EQ2 is the mid-range?
I'm assuming EQ2 is the mid-range?
I would assume so, but I'm going to have to look that one up to be sure.
Yes, sir. Do you have 3 or just 2 EQ controls?
Yes, sir. Do you have 3 or just 2 EQ controls?
There are 3 groups of settings. There's a bandwidth, a level, and of course I can't check it while I'm transmitting. Wait one.
No, don't do anything. You're pretty close where you are. The only thing I want to discuss maybe would be your bandpass. You want to be in the 100 to 2900 bandpass. Roger?
You want to be in the 100 to 2900 bandpass. Roger?
Roger.
So I don't know if you know where that is. You might need to check that out, but there's no need to compromise on that radio, so you should be in the 100 to 2900 bandpass mode. Roger?
In the 100 to 2900 bandpass mode. Roger?
Roger that. I've seen that before, and one thing I'm learning about this radio is the menu could be a bit better laid out, but I'll fiddle with it and come back to you later and let you move on to somebody else. Much appreciated, sir. KD9 RTX.
Roger, CAD. Roger there. 73, sir, and we'll catch you later. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend if we don't meet later this afternoon. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey Bravo number 8, Romeo India Mike.
The Whiskey Bravo station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please.
Whiskey Bravo station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please.
Okay, this is Whiskey Bravo number 8, Romeo India Mike. The handle is Lee, Lima Echo Echo Lee, in Bloomingdale, Ohio. Over.
Roger, Lee, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Lee, and what radio are you running today, sir?
The Kenwood TS-830S. I just put it back on the air after doing the band switch repair and putting CW filters in it. Over.
Oh, Roger, you put the selector switch together?
You put the selector switch together?
Yes, sir. It was quite a job. It had the, they riveted the contacts onto the circuit board and they went bad, so I had to solder to the traces. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's nothing, I've seen that done before, and I just think to myself that there could be a lot of specialized tools that you could use to make that easier, like a 90-degree torque wrench that you could put it, down, and then as you turned it, it would change the energy 90 degrees to get those nuts on those shafts.
Change the energy 90 degrees to get those nuts on those shafts.
Oh, it wasn't bad. Just take pictures and go slow. It really wasn't too bad. The microphone here, Jim, is a static 10VA dynamic, and I'm going to see about 3/4 scale. Over.
Yes, sir. I was going to ask you about that if you're interested in the setup. It starts with our compressor engaged at a 3. Roger, Roger.
It starts with our compressor engaged at a 3. Roger, Roger.
Okay, I just turned the compressor on. Hello. I'm kicking about, I don't have a numbered scale. You just turn it on and try to set it to this is about 5 dB. Over.
Yes, sir. We want just about a third of its capabilities, so that would be a ballpark for that. And so once you have your compressor engaged, move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and then you would adjust the ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 operation by mic gain manipulation. Roger?
2/3 operation by mic gain manipulation. Roger?
Okay, right now I'm running, I backed it off. I have a scope on too, the SM220. I'm running about, hanging about half to 2/3, pretty solid. Over.
Yes, sir, that looks good. And then to your EQ, and again, I would do a couple of clicks treble boost from where you are. Roger?
Treble boost from where you are. Roger?
I have no EQ in this. It's a straight microphone and processor. Over.
Is that right? No EQ. Well, then what I would do, I would back off. How close are you working that mic?
I would back off. How close are you working that mic?
About 3 inches.
Okay. Try 4. Try 4, and just let me hear you at 4 inches. We're doing a reverse bass build-up, proximity effect. So move back about an inch or two, and let me hear you there.
Back about an inch or two, and let me hear you there.
Okay, this is about 4 inches. I got to crank the mic gain up to get back to the ALC. This is 4 inches right here. Over.
Roger. Probably not much effect. So I would stay where you were, crank your mic gain back down to wherever it was. I did not hear much of a shift in EQ. Roger, Roger.
I did not hear much of a shift in EQ. Roger, Roger.
Okay, what I did do, Jim, when I first got the rig back in 1982, I pulled out the original, I think they were 2.7 sideband filters, and I put in a pair of 2.1 sideband filters from Fox Tango, I guess before NRAD bought them out. It's not the original sideband filters, over.
Roger. But the thing is, what is your bandpass right now?
Roger. But the thing is, what is your bandpass right now?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I think it's, I don't know. I really don't know. I think I set it up, measured it about 10 years ago. It's like 200 and 2100, something like that, over.
Roger. Does it have a higher bandpass capability?
Roger. Does it have a higher bandpass capability?
No, I'll have to tune the carrier oscillators, over.
Roger, Roger. Well, you know, pretty standard now is 100 to 2900. 100 to 2900. Obviously, if that radio is, it's an older radio, I'm assuming, and so it probably would be, what would be, 2.1? Is that what you were saying?
Would be, what would be, 2.1? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, 2.1 filters in it. It's a hybrid with 6146s in the finals, over.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, just because the radio is, you know, maybe limited on the upper range for a bandpass, if you just an idea, if you were to say have external equalization capability, you could boost your top end substantially and maybe extend that top end out just a little bit. If not extend it, at least fill it up with you know, articulation to help you as far as the top end being able to be understood very, very easily, Roger?
And being able to be understood very, very easily, Roger?
Oh, Roger, I have a W2IHY box. I don't have it set up for this rig, but I'll have to start working on it. I have both of them. I have the 8-band equalizer, and then I have the bass and treble. The earlier one they had two control box. I'll get something set up for this one of these days, over.
Roger, it might be an interesting experiment, you know, because obviously the more EQ boost you're doing going in, the more there's going to be coming out. Although, you know, the radio is going to try to limit that because it's a 2.1. What happens is it winds up kind of compressing that top end, so you have a lot of content there in the upper audio register, and that helps with articulation, Roger. So it should be fairly interesting experiment with that outward EQ, Roger.
Fairly interesting experiment with that outward EQ, Roger.
Well, I'll try that. I have a bunch of mic connectors laying around and some wire. I'll get on that and see what it does. But right now I'm pretty much at the limit of what I can do. So with that, I'll say 73s, and thank you for the help, and I'll talk to you maybe next week with the IHY box hooked up, over.
Roger, Roger Lee. Well, your dynamic range is about 3 dB, so your average percent of peak modulation is 80 to 85%. If you would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, along with today's date, 4/16/21, that will take you to this recording and give us a couple of days, 48 hours to get it uploaded, Roger.
And give us a couple of days, 48 hours to get it uploaded, Roger.
Roger, I will do that. Thank you for the help.
Roger Lee, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 3, Delta Yankee, United.
Kilo 3 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo 3 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo 3, Delta Yankee United, K3DYU. The name is Jim in Berwick, Pennsylvania.
Roger, Jim in Pennsylvania, sir. And what radio are you running?
Roger, Jim in Pennsylvania, sir. And what radio are you running?
I'm running a
It's a great rig.
Jim, you might want to take a look at your AOC. I think you're pretty hot into your AOC, so if you would, check that. We want to go mid-scale to 2/3, so you might want to pull your mic gain down just a tad.
Mid-scale to 2/3, so you might want to pull your mic gain down just a tad.
Okay, how about right now?
You had a little double with somebody. Try it again.
You had a little double with somebody. Try it again.
Yeah, okay, I turned it down. It's about, I'd say, a little more than a third way right now as far as the mic gain.
Roger. Well, Jim, you're running 2 dB dynamic range. What happens is, words have life, and if you start defeating the dynamic range, and when you pass 3 dB dynamic range, words start to blur. So you're right there about 2. So I would pull that mic gain back just a little bit more to where we have about a 3 dB dynamic range. Roger?
More to where we have about a 3 dB dynamic range. Roger?
Roger. I brought it back a little bit more. How does it sound now?
Yeah, now also our setup procedure starts with the compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what we need it to do on the grand scale of things. So part of our setup, again, it starts with the compressor engaged at a 3. Roger?
Again, it starts with the compressor engaged at a 3. Roger?
Okay, yeah, right now it's at a 3. Right now it's at a 3, and I'm on a D104, and I'm talking about, I would say, 7-8 inches away from the microphone.
Roger, yeah, Jim, but you're still up against the wall. So we got a compressor in there at a 3. I would look at my AOC and continue to back my mic gain off until my AOC was reflecting mid-scale to 2/3. I think you'll be very, very pleased with your sound there if we get that your audio down to a 3 dB dynamic range. Roger?
Your audio down to a 3 dB dynamic range. Roger?
Roger. Okay, I brought it down, the mic gain to 1.5. It's reading 1.5 right now.
Roger. Well, I think also the thing is you might be, let's figure out, you're getting a lot of room noise. So, it indicates that you're working fairly distance from microphone. So we can work this out. Just give us a chance here for a minute. I want you to work, you're probably, about 8 inches from that microphone?
You're probably, about 8 inches from that microphone?
That is correct, sir. I'm about 8 inches right now.
Roger. So what we might want to do, you're picking up a lot of room noise echo. So what you might want to do is move closer to mic to about maybe 4 inches or so, and then back off your mic gain some more. And we're going to get you sounding really nice here in a moment. Roger?
To get you sounding really nice here in a moment. Roger?
Roger. Okay, I'm up about 4 inches right now, and I just brought it down to a 1.
Is that a 1 out of how many, sir? You're talking about your mic gain?
Is that a 1 out of how many, sir? You're talking about your mic gain?
That's correct. It goes up to 10. It's set on a 1 right now.
Okay, so I'm assuming that D104 is a powered mic, Roger?
Okay, so I'm assuming that D104 is a powered mic, Roger?
Negative. This one is not a powered mic.
Is that right? Well, you're doing extremely well, sir, because usually the thing is about the D104 has an extremely high impedance cartridge, and to run that cartridge directly into a modern radio with, say, a 600 ohm input, it usually just sounds like a sheet tin, but you do have a little body in your audio, so you're doing real well with that, not being a powered microphone, Roger?
Oh, with that, not being a powered microphone, Roger?
Roger. Okay, very good. I don't want to keep you too long. I'm sure a lot of other people would like to get a test on their radios also. I do have your call letters, and I will check out that recording. I believe you said it was Sunday. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. What radio is it you're running?
Yes, sir. What radio is it you're running?
This is the Helicrafters Cyclone 3. It's the more beefier one. It's the SR400 Alpha. I think it's 650 watts PEP barefoot, and that's what straight through, no linear or nothing. I am using a 1979 vertical antenna made by Butternut. That's the HV53, I believe. It has the one 20 meter, I believe, not 20, but 15 meter element to it. But it's a vertical antenna. I have about 18 to 20 radios on the ground.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you know, the D104 has a certain discoloration of the audio on the upper side. That's characteristic of the D104, and so you obviously are exhibiting that, and you'll be able to hear that in your recording. So if you want to check out your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date 4/16/21, that will take you to this recording, and you can hear that D104 in action. Roger?
You can hear that D104 in action. Roger?
Roger. I believe you said it was Sunday, correct? You'll have the recording up?
Well, give us 48 hours outside. Many times we're a lot sooner than that. We are a lot sooner than that. But we want a little fudge factor in case the world falls apart. Roger?
We want a little fudge factor in case the world falls apart. Roger?
Roger. Thank you very much for your comments on Greg, and a couple of others commented. It was pretty good. That came in on the side. Again, thank you very much. I love the vintage equipment. I mainly run vintage equipment. I think the latest one that I have is an ICOM 721. That's the earliest one that I run. The rest of them are older than that. 73s, thanks again. This is Jim in Berwick, PA, K3DYU. So long, thank you.
Roger, Jim, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net, and my name is Jim, and known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Dr. VKV. And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 8, November, Charlie, Romeo, Juliet.
The November 8 station, come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign, please.
Phonetically, with your call sign, please.
November 8, November, Charlie, Romeo.
I got November 8 something, Charlie Romeo. Can you fill in the blank?
I got November 8 something, Charlie Romeo. Can you fill in the blank?
November 8, November, Charlie, Romeo.
November Charlie Romeo. Roger. The name there, please, sir.
November Charlie Romeo. Roger. The name there, please, sir.
Name is Nolan, November, Oscar, Lima, Alpha, November, running an Helicraft KX3.
Is that TX or DX?
Is that TX or DX?
Kilo X-Ray 3, Helicraft KX3.
Roger, and what's your location, sir?
Roger, and what's your location, sir?
KCH is State College, Pennsylvania. We're about 60 miles west of the previous station in Berwick.
Roger. Well, if you're interested in our setup procedure, it starts with engaging your compressor at a 3. A token amount, but it does what we need it to do. So engage that compressor at a 3. Roger?
Engage that compressor at a 3. Roger?
All right. Looks like I have compression set to 14 right now.
Okay, so what's your input level? Is it 0 to 100 or 0 to 10?
0 to 100 or 0 to 10?
Give me 1 second. So I lowered my compression to 3, and let me check my input level. 1 moment. Input level set at 33. Let me check what the range is. on the microphone input level is 0 to 80.
Okay, so what we're actually trying to do is use about a third of the capability of the compressor processor. We're looking to use just a third of its capabilities. So if you had a 0 to 100, it would be a 30. If you had a 0 to 10, it would be a 3. So we're looking for, like I say, just about a third of its possibilities. Roger?
Just about a third of its possibilities. Roger.
All right, so the compressor is 0 to 30. I have it set to 10 right now.
Yes, sir. It sounds like good math to me. All right, so now then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can see where the ALC meter is to adjust. By mic gain control manipulation, adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 reading. Roger.
ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 reading. Roger.
So right now ALC is peaking about right at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Peaking probably at about 80%.
All right, that might be a little high. We want to do mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
All right, that might be a little high. We want to do mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
There's a contact station.
Yes, KB1H, the range of source from my signal.
This is a control network. And right now I'm in QSO with N8NCR.
Right now I'm in QSO with N8NCR.
Yeah, Nolan, do you still have a copy, sir?
Nolan, do you still have a copy, sir?
I can barely copy Kilo Bravo 1 Hotel Echo November. So you want me to lower my ALC just a little bit?
Yes, sir. We're looking for mid-scale to 2/3. The sweet spot is that area between mid-scale and 2/3. Roger.
Spot is that area between mid-scale and 2/3. Roger.
Okay, so I moved my compression from about 10 to about 6.
No, sir. Do not touch the compressor. We've got the compressor in there where we want it. It's your mic gain control that we want to control the ALC. So your compressor should be at a 10, and then adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 by your mic gain control. Roger?
For mid-scale to 2/3 by your mic gain control. Roger?
Roger. Adjusting mic gain right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Peaking ALC about 50%.
Yes, sir. That's looking real good. Now, do you know where your equalization is?
Yes, sir. That's looking real good. Now, do you know where your equalization is?
Not sure where my equalizer is on the KX3.
Yes, sir. Well, note to self, when you find out where your equalizer is, I want you to go 2 clicks treble boost from where you are. 2 clicks treble boost from where you are. Roger?
2 clicks treble boost from where you are. Roger?
Roger.
And that was Nolan. Is that a Roger?
And that was Nolan. Is that a Roger?
Yes, correct. November Oscar Lima Alpha November.
Roger, Nolan. Well, let me say 73 to you, sir. And when you crank in that EQ, I think it'll help out as far as the articulation. If you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 4/16/21, that will take you to this recording, and we'll probably have it up in a couple of days, probably sooner than that, but outside a couple of days. Roger?
In a couple of days, probably sooner than that, but outside a couple of days. Roger?
Roger. Thank you very much for the analysis.
Yes, sir. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
K0 Bravo Whiskey Juliet.
K0 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
K0 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Yes, sir. Kilowatt 0 Bravo Whiskey Juliet.
BWJ, Roger, what's the name there, sir?
Roger. What's the name there, sir?
Yes, sir. The name is Bruce. Bravo Romeo Uniform Charlie Echo.
Roger, Bruce, and where are you, sir?
Roger, Bruce, and where are you, sir?
I am in Soldier, Iowa, halfway between Omaha and Sioux City, 15 miles from the Missouri River.
Roger. Now I don't go west, so this is a freak of nature here, sir. I'm only kidding. What radio are you running, Bruce?
I'm only kidding. What radio are you running, Bruce?
Brand new Yaesu FTDX10 with a Heil Pro 7 headset.
Roger, Bruce. Well, our setup procedure begins with the compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what we need it to do. So if you know where your compressor processor is, turn it on and add a 3. Roger, Roger.
Turned it on and add a 3. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Processor is now at 3. Processor now at 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Very good, sir. Now move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in transmit, adjust your ALC meter for mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain manipulation.
For mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain manipulation.
Roger, Roger. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Audio. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2/3.
Yes, sir. And so now you're at 3 dB dynamic range, and your average percent of peak modulation is now between 80 and 85%, which is nice. And we chose 3 dB dynamic range because what happens if you exceed that and you get down to 2 dB dynamic range, words start to blur. And what we're looking for is to get that word out there as crystal clean as we can so people can understand what you're saying precisely without just hearing you but not being able to hear the actual words. Roger?
Hearing you but not being able to hear the actual words. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Whoa. When I said Roger, Roger, it's going way up there.
Roger. Now, so you want to set it, like I say, as you're speaking naturally, but quickly. The whole idea is to get that meter up to where you can see it. If you can't set it by 1, 2, 3, because you don't speak that way. You speak in sentences and words, so you want that meter to be exposed to an operating situation that you can adjust more precisely. Roger?
That you can adjust more precisely. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Okay, so that's what I'm doing now, and I've got 3/4 scale, half to 3/4 on the ALC.
Excellent. That looks really good. Now, what I want you to do you know where your EQ page is?
Really good. Now, what I want you to do you know where your EQ page is?
Absolutely. This is set 6 parameters, and yeah, I know exactly where it is.
All right. Can you tell me if is it a 3-band EQ?
All right. Can you tell me if is it a 3-band EQ?
6-band.
Ah, it gets interesting. Well, what I'm looking for is treble boost. I want to increase your treble audio just a tad. Maybe if you look at the upper registers, what readings do you have there? What is your reading as far as frequencies and such?
Reading as far as frequencies and such.
Okay. EQ1, this is with before processor, is 100 hertz, level 9, bandwidth 3.
Okay, let's go to the other side, to the high side. That was the low side. Let's go to the high side. What's the first thing on the high side?
High side. That was the low side. Let's go to the high side. What's the first thing on the high side?
Another big double.
Bruce, what is the on the other side of the EQ, not the 100, but the other side, the top end? What's your first frequency up there?
The other side, the top end. What's your first frequency up there?
Okay, you're talking about EQ3.
Right now it's at 3,000, level 9, bandwidth 3.
Okay, what possibilities do you have beyond a 9? That's the control I'm looking for, the 3K. Do you have additional boost from that 9?
3K. Do you have additional boost from that 9?
Okay. There is a ERMTRC EQ.
Try that again, sir.
Yes, sir. There are. This transmit audio has 3 PRM-TRC. There's a 1, a 2, and a 3. And each one of those segments has frequency, level, and bandwidth.
Roger. Now, we don't want to mess with the bandwidth. We want to keep that the same. We just want to boost that 3K that's at 9. Can you go to a 15? Or in that area, can you go 15 on that 3K that's currently at 9?
Okay, this is PRM-TRC EQ03. Frequency is 3,000, level is 9, and bandwidth is 3. Everyone needs to know if I can change the level to some other value. Is that correct?
Right, Bruce, I think you've hit your VFO. We're on 7188. You need to bring your VFO back to 7188, Roger?
Okay, 7188, Roger.
There you go. Good to hear you, sir. So, did you say you have EQ capabilities beyond a 9 on the 3K control?
Yes, it'll go to like 15.
All right, put around 15 there and let me hear you, sir.
Well, I said 15. It'll go to 10 at 3,000.
10 is max. You can't go to 15?
Roger. It's level will only go to 10.
Yes, sir. I'm hearing you fairly well on the top end. I'm hearing you on my local antenna. My local radio is pretty highly modified to go down to 100 cycles and up to the top end of the band pass. So you're sounding really good. Now, what I would suggest is that you get a windscreen for that microphone. Get you a foam windscreen to put on that microphone so you will not have any transient mouth noises. Roger?
Roger. It has one on it. It's a headset. Maybe I have it too close.
Roger. Well, unfortunately, it's not doing quite what it needs to do. You might seek a second opinion as far as if you had a second one, just put the one over the other. Or just take the one you have off and put the new foam windscreen on that might do a better job. If it still has plosives that leak through, then you might want to run both of them. Roger?
Okay, I got you. We're blowing too much wind across Lexington with the audio.
Roger, well, that happens. That's the whole thing about a foam windscreen. Now, if you might look at, if you want to check out your audio, you'll go to YouTube, do a call to a search for KC9VKV, along with today's date, 4/16/21, and my glowing face will be on that audio, and you will see that I am actually in proximity of touching the microphone at my QTH, but I have a foam windscreen that makes it all possible. Roger?
Roger. What was your call again?
Yo.
Call here is KC9VKV, Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. The name is Jim, Juliet India Mike.
KC9 Kilo Charlie Victor.
Sir, this is frequencies in use.
Okay. So I'll check that out on YouTube. I appreciate your time, sir.
Yes, sir, Bruce. And I just noticed that your level doesn't seem to be up to snuff. So the thing is, you need to stay constant distance from that microphone. If you move left, right, up, down to that microphone, it will sense it. It will show it, and it will reproduce the difference that you make if you don't stay on that mic. So try to always stay on your mic exactly the way you set up your AOC. That's where you need to be on the microphone all the time. Roger?
Roger. Okay. I'm keeping it steady there. All right, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Sounding good there, Bruce. 73, and we'll catch you later. Had a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net, and I'm going to have to do something here. I'm going to work this in before I forget it. This is about another thrilling edition of Adventures in Radioland. Today's segment, antennas that work well. Here's a recent comment from 2SD251 Jim. And he says, seems from the videos that every station you work sounds like they are S1. And my reply to that comment was, after many years and over 1,600 QSO-VLOG setups and recordings, we've worked our way down to those that can really use our help. That is precisely why many months ago, in addition to my local receiver, I started using 4 geographic chosen Internet SDR receivers. So now I know that when my local receiver and all 4 SDR receivers are receiving a signal poorly, there are probably antenna issues involved also. But that's for another day, a lifetime. And that was my comment response to Jim about so many S1 signals received. Now his observation was correct. I believe, though, that a 100-watt transmitter operating in the eastern part of the United States should show up at least as an S5 to S9 somewhere. If you are an S1 everywhere, you're not getting out. Let me repeat that. If you are an S1 everywhere, you're not getting out. Now, while I can technically set your transmitter up for optimal performance and operation, if you're operating a dummy load for an antenna, you will not be getting out well. So let me repeat that. If you're operating a dummy load for an antenna, you will not be getting out well. Radio antenna tuners do not solve the problem. They only mask the problem so the radio will operate correctly. A bad antenna is still a bad antenna. So now you're on the air with a bad antenna. The real name of the game is ERP over ADI. How well do you bring your effective radiated power over your area of dominant influence? To translate that formula, it just means to ask the question, how well are you getting out into the area you wish to be heard? Now we can blame poor performance on bad propagation till the cows come home, but if you're an S1 everywhere, you're not getting out. I propose a change in your life, a professional answer to amateur problem. It is the antenna that we've been using for many years here on 7188 for the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. It is the resonant, tuned, no SWR, specifically oriented dipole antenna. Yes, it is a dipole antenna, but a resonant, tuned dipole antenna. Look, Ma, no antenna tuner. Because they are tuned, they have no SWR to deal with. You're straight out of your radio to the antenna. No conversion loss antenna tuner to deal with. You are max power to the antenna. The second part of this great antenna is that it is directional. The EMF, which means electrical magnetic force, moves off the dipole broadside to the elements. So you can choose your target area by the way you orient your dipole. That's what we mean by the formula ERP over ADI. Case in point, if you happen to live along the East Coast, you would probably want to orient your dipole east and west so it would radiate north and south. Otherwise, if you oriented your dipole north and south, you would be losing half your signal to the sharks at sea. On the other hand, if you enjoy working Europe, the north and south orientation would work out pretty well. It all depends on where you want your signal to go. The thing I'm pointing out is the resonant-tuned, no SWR oriented dipole antenna works well on many levels. I've A/B tested it at 600 miles with other popular antennas, and it has always been the hottest antenna. And that's why we've been running ours for the past 4 years here on the QSO-VLOG net on Friday afternoons. If you want to get out, get your antenna working as well as your radio. You're only as strong as your weakest link. If you're currently going through an antenna tuner, you are losing power in the mismatch correction, but you're losing most of your power in a poor, untuned antenna. Get yourself on the air with a resonant-tuned, no SWR, specifically oriented dipole antenna. It would be one of the greatest gifts you could give your station operation. And no, we don't sell them, but you can Google plans for free, and they're easy to build. The way I tune them is simple. I make SWR adjustments on the ground side of the dipole, and I bring it back onto my desired mid-band frequency on the high side. And you keep going back and forth like that until you work your SWR down to a 0.05 or so at the correct mid-band frequency. I hope this segment on SWR resonant, no SWR resonant tuned dipole antennas will be at least a spur to interest in building new antennas with greater efficiency. And that's our comment for today on the QSO-VLOG net about dipole antennas and how well they work. You can use your infrared antennas but with tuners, but you will be losing a signal in the tuner, and because of the fact that that long wire is not tuned precisely to the frequency, you'll be losing a lot of efficiency there. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
K3DYU for a quick recheck.
K3 station, come back again slowly phonetically with your call.
K3 station, come back again slowly phonetically with your call.
Yeah, this is K3DYU, Jim in Berwick, PA. Just a quick one. I don't want to waste any more of your time. I already wasted enough of us before. I made a stupid mistake. I turned down the RF level gain, which I should have had set at 0 in the beginning. And I did not do nothing with the mic gain, so it is set at 3 right now. How is that sounding to you right now? Sorry about that.
That's all right, DYU. If ever you wonder what your modulation level is, simply consult your AOC. It is the Bible for your radio. It will tell you more precisely what's going on than your neighbor down the street or me. You want to set that AOC to mid-scale to 2/3 by mic gain manipulation. So if you ever have a question, if you like change mics to a different mic, always go back and consult your AOC and adjust it for mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain control. Roger?
For mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain control. Roger?
Roger. Okay, I have it set at 3 right now. I brought it right down. Hopefully that's more acceptable to you. K3DYU, thanks again. We're clear.
Yes, sir. You're right on target, sir. Sounding good. 73, and have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And gosh, we are 16 till 5. Of course, we've run out of steam at 5. Sometimes before then, but we trudge on. If you have a radio that you're looking to set up, give me a shout. KC9VKV listening.
Looking to set up, give me a shout. KC9VKV listening.
Any NCR recheck. Delta 8 Alpha, Quebec Tango, mobile.
There's an NCR out there. Station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
An NCR out there. Station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
November 8, November Charlie Romeo, again with a recheck. Adjusted my equalizer. I have an 8-band equalizer and adjusted to +2 dBi.
Roger, it sounds good. I only have, you're only about 4 dB above my noise level, but what I can hear, it sounds really good. Roger?
About 4 dB above my noise level, but what I can hear, it sounds really good. Roger?
Roger, 73, and thanks for the help.
Roger, 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Golf 2, Romeo Golf.
miles.
Kilo Golf 2 station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Golf 2 station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Roger, this is Kilo Golf 2 Romeo Golf.
Romeo Golf, what's the name there, please?
Romeo Golf, what's the name there, please?
Kilo 2 Romeo Golf, what's the name there, please?
Kilo 2 Romeo Golf, what's the name there, please?
This is Kilo Golf 2 Romeo Golf KG2RG. Over.
Sir, I've been calling your call sign for the last 10 minutes. Kilo Golf 2 Romeo Golf. Roger?
Last 10 minutes. Kilo Golf 2 Romeo Golf. Roger?
Roger.
Roger, and what's the name there, please?
Roger, and what's the name there, please?
Yeah, somebody was just tuning up on the band. We're running an FT90901 Alpha with the soft microphone and some inboard equalization and no processing. Over. And we're in York.
Alrighty. Again, sir, what is the name?
Alrighty. Again, sir, what is the name?
The name here is Justin.
Roger, Justin, and what's your location, sir?
Roger, Justin, and what's your location, sir?
I'm in Albany, New York State Capital, Albany.
Yes, sir. Okay. If you're interested in our setup procedure, it begins with your compressor processor engaged at a 3. Roger?
Compressor processor engaged at a 3. Roger?
Okay.
All right, so I'm assuming now your compressor processor is on at a 3, Roger?
Assuming now your compressor processor is on at a 3, Roger?
Oh, no, negative. I thought you maybe had some pre-settings for this radio already, to download it or whatever, but I didn't have anything adjusted right now.
Yes, sir. Well, that's what we do, sir. That's why we're here, is to set your radio up. Do you know where your compressor processor is and how to turn it on at a 3?
Do you know where your compressor processor is and how to turn it on at a 3?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to change any settings right now because I wouldn't be sure how to put them back. I kind of like the settings right here. I don't run the processor, but I'd have to write down all the settings to make sure that if I change them, I'd be able to come back to these settings. Over.
Roger. Okay. Thank you for dropping by, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Copying a station back on the Rochester SDR. Try it again. You're just right at my noise level.
Try it again. You're just right at my noise level.
Yeah, I hear you back in there, sir, but it's you're too low. You're right at my noise. Actually, you're under my noise. So let me say 3s, and maybe if conditions get better later on, give me a shout. We have about 10 minutes till 5. Got to wrap it up at 5. We turn into a pumpkin then. And so if you have a radio that you want to check out, give me a shout.
Yeah, that you want to check out, give me a shout.
Alpha Charlie Niner X-ray November.
Alpha Charlie station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign. Alpha Charlie station, come back slowly with your call sign.
Your call sign? Call sign?
QSO?
This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, the QSO-VLOG net for Friday afternoon. We record live from 3:30 till 5. We've got about 10 minutes if you want to get your radio in, and we'll check her out and see what we need to do.
Alpha Charlie 9er, X-ray November.
Alpha Charlie Station, this is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. Do you copy?
Right, copy.
Think we might have doubled. Alpha Charlie Station, this is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
KC9VKV, Alpha Charlie 9, X-ray November.
Okay, Alpha Charlie 9, X-ray November. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
Okay, and what's the name there?
My name is George. I'm in Highland, Indiana.
Roger, George. I think we're just too close. You're in Corydon, Indiana. I think we are just too close. You know, that happens quite a bit. You're right at my noise level. But let me look around. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds on your antenna situation, and I'll look around for a better path for us, Roger.
Roger.
So go ahead and tell me about your antenna there.
I have our homemade...
Your antenna there. Antenna there.
Roger, George, I'm copying you somewhat on the Milford PA-SDR. You're probably about a 2 dB over their noise level, but a better signal there than I have local. So what radio are you running, George?
I have local. So what radio are you running, George?
Roger, George, 7300, copy that. Well, we have a generic tune-up setup procedure for that radio if you want to. Maybe the best thing would be to take notes, and then you can insert them at a later time at your convenience. First thing on our setup is go to your compressor, and turn it on and engage it at a 3. We want the compressor processor on and at a 3. And once you have your compressor on at a 3, then move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, and transmit, adjust your ALC to where it's running mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain manipulation. So you're setting your ALC mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain manipulation. As you speak fairly quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can see where that meter is. Once there, then I want you to go to your equalization on that 7300. I want you to go +3 treble EQ. I want you to boost your treble EQ to a +3 on that 7300. Roger.
3 on that 7300. Roger.
Sir, this is frequencies in use, please.
Sir, this is frequencies in use, please.
So, George, did you copy those notes, Roger?
So, George, did you copy those notes, Roger?
Right, George, I no longer have a copy on you, even on Milford. I no longer have a copy. You've sunk below Milford's noise level. So again, compressor on at a 3, move to your ALC, adjust the ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control, then move to your EQ, and you want to go +3 treble EQ boost, and that should make you A-OK, Roger?
And that should make you A-OK, Roger?
Okay, Roger, thank you.
Yes, sir, George. I wish we had better conditions, but we have to deal with what we have. 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by, and we will be posting this on YouTube. So if you want to try to hear what you're sounding like, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV along with today's date 4/16/21, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG recording that we're doing right now, and you'll be able to hear yourself. This is KC9VKV. We have probably time for one more. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
And for one more, if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Hotel Delta India remote.
Okay, Hotel. I tell you what, Hotel Delta India, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
India, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's Whiskey 2, Hotel Delta India, W2HDI, and I am operating remote. Name is Arnie. How's copy?
Arnie, gosh, you're sounding really good for a remote. Sounding excellent. Where are you located physically?
You're located physically.
Yeah, oh, I'm so pleased because I've been playing with this. I'm physically sitting in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Hilton Head, South Carolina. Home station where I'm transmitting from is Stowe, Vermont, and I'm using the remote setup. So I'm talking into the head of my ICOM 7100, connected to black box, and what especially pleases me is that I'm just testing the cell phone. So my Wi-Fi is coming from courtesy of Verizon Wireless. I have the cell phone on Wi-Fi hotspot, which is what I use in the car, and of course Ethernet back in the house in Stowe. Back to you.
Okay, so your audio curve is just beautiful. I mean, frankly, sir, most remotes sound like less than desirable, but yours is just perfect. And if you had not said anything, I would not have known that you were remote. It's that clean. So congratulations to you, sir. And I wouldn't touch a thing. Your dynamic range is just perfect. Your curve is perfect. And if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date 4/16/21, it will take you directly to this recording. Give us a couple of days to get it uploaded. We'll probably get it there sooner, but 48 hours outside.
Well, thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate that because I was just playing with it and adjusting the so-called jitter remotely. Gives me lots of opportunities to adjust for internet quality. We have a slightly better internet at home with a better upload, and I just tightened it up a little bit. So delighted to hear that it's sounding okay. 73, and thanks very much for the test. W2HDI, Hilton Head, transmitting from Vermont.
Roger. Arnie, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And with that, we've had a great time this afternoon. Enjoyed it all. Hope you have. And hope you managed to participate. Again, if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date 4/16/21, that will take you directly to this recording. Give us 48 hours. We'll probably get it there sooner, but outside 48 hours. And with that, we'll say 73, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, returning this frequency to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV, clear.